Hey everyone, welcome back to String, Cheese, and Applesauce, where today we're doing another episode of MOC Monday. And today we're looking at another train car. Today I built a couple flat cars. So these are typically train cars that are flat with some sort of vertical support that keeps the cargo in place. And that's kind of what we have. So let's go ahead and look. These are both identical, so as we look at them, you'll see that there's going to be no differences in them. Put them kind of side by side. So we'll just look at one of them. So what we have here is obviously the flat car cargo area. We have a single truck on these. So with the Lego system and the Lego train system, which has a lot of flaws, when you make the trucks non-rotating, so you have to have that pin that goes in there and allows these to rotate. If you don't have it rotating, you have to have this wheelbase real close to each other. So these flat cars are basically a smaller, kind of scaled down version, because normally it would be the length of both of these combined. But I don't really have that many of those trucks. Just like, well, let me show you the one that we looked at last week. So this is the one we looked at last week. So you can see how the double wheels here, they're attached to that yellow piece that goes through and attaches to that pinhole. So being a smaller version, you have to have these wheels closer together. So that's the only thing that bothers me about this. Other than that, it's pretty accurate to a real flat car, especially kind of a early 1900s variation of it, because we have this handbrake right there, and then they used a lot of these vertical supports, and what those really are for, and let me bring over a little piece of cargo. So you have large items like that, and see how when I drop them in there, they're not falling off the flat car because they're leaning up against these posts, and they're not falling off. And then if I put something else on this one, you can see it gives it something to lean against. So whereas if these weren't there, it would probably roll off the side of this flat car. So that's why those posts are there. So let's look at the pretty simple construction of this. The handbrake is essentially just a modified plate with this little bar sticking up, and then I just stuck one of these little steering wheels in there. So that's the handbrake, and then these bars are just your standard Lego bar that are attached on the hole of a jumper tile. And then right here on both sides is basically a structural support that you typically see on flat cars, and that's more or less just so when heavy loads are put across this span, it doesn't collapse it. Now this one is actually just for I guess styling of it, because it actually doesn't provide any structural support at all. I mean, I could bend this and you can see it kind of comes up. See, it's kind of bending. I mean, not that any type of Lego load would actually bend this plate anyway. It's more for real life look. So that's really it for this flat car. There's really not a lot. So the only thing that I would change is eventually get more of these yellow pieces so I can create a longer version of this flat car, more of like this length or maybe a little bit longer, to make it a little bit more proportional to a realistic flat car. So once again, I'll put some structural elements there, and you can haul that around your Lego city just like that. So that's it for this MOC Monday. Tell me your thoughts. Put a comment down below. Hopefully if you have some train pieces and you need some flat cars, you can use some of these tips and techniques for yours. If not, tell me why. I'd like to know. So thanks again for watching. Make sure to subscribe, check out my other videos, and we'll see you next week.